Hello and a warm welcome to Agric today on Arcn Television, Mabushi, Abuja, Nigeria. I am Khadija Uluwatoyin. Today's episode of Agric Today shall be focused on the ministerial meeting of the Servicom unit, where our Servicom unit here at the Arcn is hosting the ministerial unit from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and both the Servicom office. The meeting is expected to bring together stakeholders here in Arcn and external bodies on how this service delivery can be improved. And expected in this meeting is the Executive Secretary of the Arcn, the Director of Servicom from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Mr. Odo Efik, and also the representative from the Servicom office in the person of Mrs. Aino. And I hope that you enjoyed the visit from this delegation. Let's go in and see what's happening. Come in.
But it came at the right time when we need them to come. So right now we know the Servicom will be around taking place currently has not been so because of funding. But they are coming now to remind us of Advert funding, and not Advert funding should be constantly given to us. We also want to do what we want to do. The Servicom is very key. Every sector, that is Servicom to their policy. Whenever there is the work will not be done. So for us to actually 100% service delivery, they will be able to fund the sector for maximum output.
In respect of reform, we report to Bureau of Public Service Reform. In respect of service delivery, we report to Servicom. And in respect of innovation, we report to Office of Head of Service of the Federation. And these offices ask for quarterly reports from the ministry. So once we are giving reports, we are expected to also give reports that come from agencies. So the essence of this meeting, Servicom office has a protocol list. Protocol lists are those who can report directly to Servicom. And the only agency in the ministry that is in the protocol list is Bank of Industry, or Bank of Agric. But all other agencies report through the ministry to the presidency. So last time we held our vocal officers meeting here with the ministerial Servicom unit. And that meeting is rotational. I think the next meeting will be hosted by the National Agricultural State Council. So the essence of that meeting is to ensure that we come here and share the best practice and also share our success stories and challenges and brainstorm together and see how we'll be able to achieve Mr. President Renew Hope for Food Security. So, and we know that most agencies has issues of workforce. So we want to leverage on Servicom platform to drive reform in agencies and innovation. Because we cannot come and say, Executive Secretary, create another department or another unit for innovation, create another unit for, so we want to use Servicom to drive this as a platform to drive both innovation and the Servicom principles. So we are coming here. the National Servicom Office will be able to share the essence of this meeting with us. The essence of this meeting is to ensure that I'm so happy that the Executive Secretary is from the public sector. You know, sometimes you have some chief executives that come from private sector. So when you talk about Servicom, it's strange to them. So we're happy that it's from the public sector, so it's already aware of it. And we used to come for evaluation visits. Currently, the National Servicom Office is on evaluation visit of the MDS. I think they were in the ministry 2 days ago for evaluation visit. And we will, in turn, from the ministry, in conjunction with the National Servicom Office, come for evaluation visit of agencies. And this report goes to the presidency. And sometimes that report ends up in the Federal Executive Council. So that is very, very key. Improvement in the value proposition of public servants. It has to do with staff welfare. Because if they are not well, if we don't bring them up in a way, we don't motivate them, we don't expect a good result. So that's the 6 pillars. But we are in the last lap of this pillar. You know, this pillar started in 2017 to 2020. Now, they started another one from 2021 to 2025. So it's going to end by December 2025. But now head of service are now in transition period. It's another succession plan that will come up that will be 2026 to 2030. So I want us to also key in those pillars is the global practice. It will help us to succeed.
We all know that government is all about the people. And whatever will translate to excellent service delivery, these are the things we advocate for in the Servicom office. And like I said, what we do in the Servicom office is that we focus on improving the quality of contact between ministries, departments, and agencies, such as Arcn, to ensure effective service delivery. In one of the meetings, I actually told her, I said Arcn is very key, because about 14 research institutes are under the purview of the council. Okay, they are 16. They are 16, beautiful. And this speaks of the importance of the council and why the council, I know the council is already on its feet. It's up and running and doing everything that it can. But like I said, we are here to ask for more. Servicom is the customer service arm of running government business. The same way we have it in banks. We all have one bank or the other that we patronize. The same way they have the customer service arm, that is the same way Servicom is in every organization. From attending to complaints, facilitating the resolution of complaints, and then asking for feedback from clients. These are so many things that the Servicom unit needs to do from time to time. So Servicom was established to promote excellence in service delivery in year 2004. And like the director said, every ministry, department, and agency has a Servicom unit. And their job description ranges from the things I've said, harvesting complaints and feedback, and then also monitoring the implementation of the service charter of Arcn. And like I said, we're also here to solicit for more support. Yes, they are supposed to act as your eyes, your ears in Arcn and in the council, in all aspects of customer service. And they also have a work plan that they came up with at the beginning of the year. And I asked her what's the implementation status of that work plan. I know a lot has been done, but they still have a lot to do. For instance, the development of the service charter. It's one of the activities stated in the work plan that needs to be carried out. What is a service charter? A service charter is a document that spells out everything the council does. I know there are other documents that we have in existence that, spells out the mandate, the vision, the mission, the functions of Arcn. But the service charter will further break this down into simple language for the clients to understand. For instance, the farmers, the institute. It will spell out the key services, the timelines, and if there are costs and charges, it will also be captured in this document, and it will be made available to your clients, because there are two sets. We have the integrated and then the local service charter. So the integrated charter will be made available to your numerous stakeholders, so they can hold you accountable for whatever is stated in this document. So, sir, this is one of the things we are here to, solicit your support for, sir, so that they can develop this particular document called the service charter, to use it for they were able to implement the implementation. They were able to monitor the implementation of the timeline stated in the service charter. And then we also asked that normally every agency should have a unit, a Servicom unit and a Servicom committee. Right now I'm aware there's a unit, but the committee, there's a committee. And in all the institutes too, there are representatives. Yes, normally they should meet. Apart from the general meeting that we have under the Agric umbrella, Arcn should also have its own meeting, because like I said, Arcn is unique with about 17 institutes under its purview. We should also drive, and 17 colleges. Wow, so it's a very huge agency. So we need to have Servicom in all these colleges, in all these institutes, and she needs to also ensure that they meet quarterly. And then the director will also be there to also oversee and observe the meetings, and they are to meet quarterly. I don't know if you've had any.
Yes, online.
Online, okay, it's always online. Okay. So sir, we'll encourage. Online is good via Zoom, but then it will also be good if they can meet physically, even if it's once a year. And then the staff sensitization. We also want every staff to be on the same page as per service delivery. So, and then there are trainings too. We have the Servicom Institute that runs trainings on all aspects of service delivery, ranging from customer care, complaints handling, performance management, and so on. So, sir, we strongly believe that if the Servicom unit is equipped to effectively carry out their duties, more than, I know we have support, sir, but there can never be overdose of support. So we are here to solicit for more. I know that with the much she's doing now, if all these other things, the service charter is in place, the meetings are carried out regularly, that there will be more visibility for Servicom even in Arcn. And then we believe that if these areas are implemented, Arcn and the Servicom units will be repositioned to function optimally, thereby ensuring that all customers are served right and as kings. In the Servicom office, we have a slogan. The slogan is, customers are king, customers are king. And the good thing is that every one of us here seated, we are customers in one way or another. Either you are an internal customer to Arcn, or you are an external stakeholder to Arcn. So we encourage that every customer should be crowned as king anytime they step into Arcn to access service.
The management of the council are actually aware of the activities of our Servicom, both here in Arcn, at the ministry and beyond. Certainly, like she said, Arcn is trying, but also they intend us to do more. We are hoping to do more, and we hope to do more of that. However, we also want to solicit certain assistance from you, because we want you to understand that we also have certain challenges. Just like you have mentioned, we have 16 research institutions under the purview of the council. We have 17 federal colleges of agriculture under the purview of the council, and that makes it 33 agencies altogether. Now, when you put all of these agencies together, for the charter, I know the nodal officer had been running up and down yearly, annually to see that she has a Servicom charter, which started even from the previous regime, and I hope that very soon management will look out to see how that will be actualized. For the training, you see, sometimes we are constrained by funding. In every organization, it is a hope of an organization to see that they train their staff, both in situ and externally. There is no organization that would want to have its staff to keep doing what they are doing the way they are doing it every day. We want them to have certain new innovations, new ideas of operating things, and that will only come through training and mingling with other people to see how they do things and it works. Sometimes these requests for training do come when there are no financial backup. And we don't know sometimes, even when we look at it. And I will also want to put before you to understand that not just the Servicom unit, we are also being pressured both by our international partners and also the internal people to also look into the other sides of our units, like we have the gender unit. And they will always insist on gender and social safeguards, where we have to involve our gender units of trainings too, as they are organizing gender training. The Act 2 is here. ICPC will always want you to also push your staff for active training. But the reality is one. In the past, it was easy for us to do most of these things. Why? Because in our budget line, capital, we have what is called capacity building. And resources from capacity building could be utilized for all of these activities we are actually carrying out. Now, it is we are pushing it back to you. The request is for the advocacy. We used to have, but at a point they cut off that budget line, not just for Arcn, but even in other our agencies that are there, capacity building. That budget line has been cut off. And when we pushed, they said most MDAs are misusing that, not for the purposes to which it were meant for. However, we want people to understand that we are a research organization. Beyond just trainings we have just mentioned, our researchers go for seminars, go for trainings, and most of which these seminars and trainings also is part of what accrue to their promotion. For the researchers in our research institute, you will have to publish papers, you will have to have additional qualifications, you will have to also go for seminars and conferences. All of these are part of your assessment for promotion. Now, but because of lack of that budget line, capacity building, what do we end up doing? They use their own personal funding, personal resources to push themselves to make sure that that had happened. Now, as part of the activities of Servicom, we are also asking you to engage budget office to know reasons why these capacity building resources were cut off our lines of budget and how it is possible for it to be revived back, even just for the research institutions and the council itself. That is one of the requests we will push. And if this comes to happen, then I assure you when we are meeting next, you may even be giving us awards instead of asking us to do more, because we will have more than enough to do most of what we are supposed to do, actually.
When I see the Servicom unit as a body, it encourages me, and I know at least the service is working. Because as we know, the civil service is all about service delivery. And they took it to a new level by at least having a body called Servicom that channels and coordinates all these complaints and ensure that service is not just delivered, it is delivered efficiently and effectively. Now, because, well, probably 4 or 5 years ago, I was a nodal officer too, so I understand what it entails. And I know the problem the nodal officer for the council will be going through psychologically, because if you're a nodal officer and you don't have a charter, you just feel you are flying solo. It's almost as if you are working without a document. It gives you some form of confidence. So, but I'm sure the executive secretary will do everything within his powers to do it in the coming year. It can't be months again, the coming year. Like the director has said here, we have paucity of funds, which is not peculiar to Arcn alone. What I was more or less wishing for, truthfully, is where, like our director from the other side of the table said, Servicom reports directly to the presidency. So I was thinking, is it possible for them to at least have a budget line? I don't know, so that at least they can also sort of give some little fundings to other Servicom units in MDAs. Because leaving the whole thing to an MDA to take care of financially. It's especially now that even to run the overheads are not coming as at when due. But when they know that they at least have some form of money, no matter how small it is, the nodal officer in the various MDAs can draw a lean budget. Whatever comes from where they are assigned to will be an added advantage. Well, these are proposals that also is beyond my boss sitting across me, but these are things that when you meet and have the opportunity of talking to people in presidency, it can be brought across. The Servicom unit in the presidency is a well-respected office. I know that for a fact.
I feel, yes, they may likely to announce a kind of windows that we can be able to draw funds to service our Servicom activities. You know, you can see we have huge responsibilities, 32, 33 institutions, and our customers are unique. Talking of farmers from the grassroots, and we have to speak to them in different languages that they can understand so as to get to have food security in this country. So I think there is need, as they said, both the ministry, for the ministry, I think they can play a role in giving us ceiling and make sure, convince the ministry that they should include a part of our ceiling, and at least for the Servicom activities. And for the presidency, I think in addition to the request for putting it in our budget, I think there is need to find a kind of window, even if it is international partners, that you can now engage an agency like Arcn that has a lot of huge responsibility with 32 institutions. So I think that's my mind too. That's my opinion. I think there is need. In Servicom, the customer has the right to ask for better service. If you don't even know what to ask, how can you know? And you are talking of driving innovation. For you to drive innovation, you need to have a feedback. Then think over the feedback, think about it, then come up with a good innovation to serve the customer. So we have a huge responsibility. I think there is need for the Servicom presidency to have a special focus on Arcn.
I was in service when Servicom started. It was a very big program, and we said, what is this going to deliver for the country? And as we begin to progress, though I don't want to retrace the fact that the nodal officer has been at least making it alive. At least when you go to the banks, you have it's a customer week. So I guess Servicom this year, Servicom week coincided with the bank's customer week also. So I said that was very that was good. The only thing I want to really add is that in the midst of we could do more if there are funds, if there are more focus. Just like I'm also from the anti-corruption transparent unit. One of the problems we face is this funding. But I'm thinking of I don't know whether you could correct me, if there could be a way on our national dailies, I mean television, to really make it global. When you talk of Servicom, it's only civil servants that usually have the idea of Servicom. When you mention Servicom, apart from the bankers, they don't know it. So maybe I'll think of we could blow the trumpet of what Servicom is to the whole world, so they know that this is their rights, this is what they could be asked when they come to do business with the government. I know. So by so doing, it further louds what we are doing. Except for the interventions, the small programs we have, trainings on Servicom issues, a lot of us, if not because it comes up, so there's still Servicom around, and so I guess when the whole world begins to push such focus light on such activities, it will take a new turn. New innovations will be injected into the Servicom spirit. Thank you very much.
And I know Servicom too has a very strong office at the presidency. But mine is coming like a comment and advice. I'm looking at want to use Servicom as an instrument to send some message to the government, most especially the federal government. Because you're talking about service delivery, I believe it's one-sided until the fact that even the government themselves have service that they're supposed to deliver promptly. And the two speakers that have actually talked about it, which is issue of funding. Another thing for fund to be allocated to you is another thing for that fund to be released timely to you. So let's use this opportunity to send message to federal government that even funds, the little funds that are allocated to ministries, agencies, and departments are not released timely. And this one is doing a lot of service delivery even in the offices and agencies attached to them. So I think if we are able to achieve this, maybe they will have a listening here to us and make sure that even the little money that is allocated, let it be released timely. Then we can always see how we manage ourselves to deliver a very good service.
The ESs are, like I said, our Servicom champion. And from the feedback we've received today, we know that he will still do more. The Servicom unit in Arcn will have more support. And more support, like I said, more visibility. And the service charter now will also, the production, the development will also be done.
Yeah, like the Servicom coordinator said, that there's a circular in respect of the funding of Servicom unit and MDS. So I will advise that the council leverage on that circular to be able to get funding. Even though the releases are not timely, but it's better that it's being captured in the work plan. And eventually when the money is released, they will be able to carry out those activities that are in the work plan.
Elated, I'm so happy. The advocacy visit is very timely, and since we have a new executive secretary, so it's good that he met with the Servicom office from the ministry and that of the presidency, and they were able to rub minds together for us to move forward in service delivery in the council. My take home is that I have the assurance that I have a supportive ears, and then the Servicom office have been able to explain all that is needed. So we'll be having a more sustainable Servicom unit.
Here you've heard everything. The Servicom meeting holding here at the Arcn cannot come at a better time as the issue, well, we've not had these meetings being hosted here is because of funding, and stakeholders have come together to brainstorm on how they can address the challenge of funding in ensuring that service delivery is being achieved. You've heard it from the executive secretary who said that he's keen on ensuring that services is being, churned out to the public in respect to the researches that comes from the research institutes, but then the lack of fund is one major problem hindering these meetings that are supposed to have held for stakeholders to brainstorm. But we are hopeful that with this resumed meeting and collaboration and coming together of both the ministry and Servicom office in conjunction with the Arcn, there is hope for better service delivery. On that note, to say thank you for joining us for this week. I remain your host, Khadija Oluwatoyin, and we say bye for now.